Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and today I will be teaching you how to paint this easy watercolor Valentine's Day card. Let's get started. To start our Valentine's Day card, we are first going to sketch out our envelope and our hearts that are going to be inside the envelope. So an envelope is pretty simple to draw. You're just going to draw a loose rectangle to start with, and I'm just going to do my best to keep it centered on my page. And then you're going to draw a curved triangle coming upward for the top flap area. And you can see mine is very uneven to start with, but we can fix this up for sure. All right, and then now that we have our base shape, we can come in down by our rectangle, and we're just going to kind of create some curved lines coming in. And we're just going to have two curved lines meeting in the middle, creating a triangle. And then the bottom is going to come up and meet in the middle as well and make another curved triangle. Just going to do my best to make sure everything is centered. And then once you get it where you like it, we can start placing in our hearts. And again, we're going to erase a lot of these guidelines so everything can get sharpened up a little bit when we start painting. So I'm just going to start to draw in my hearts coming out this way, and I'm going to just draw straight into my envelope, and then I'm going to erase the parts that would hide behind each other. So I'm just kind of seeing where I want everything to be, and then once I kind of get a feel for where I want everything, I can go back and erase the lines that are overlapping each other. I want my hearts to get a little bit smaller as they start coming out. Like that. And then I'm just going to go in and erase, and this will really give me a good feeling for where everything is and if I like where I have all my placement. For this next step, I already have a brown paint mixture that I've used off to the side, so I'm just going to reactivate that paint, and I will have the mixture that I used to create it originally listed over on my blog. So you can head over there. I'll have the link in the description box below so you can go check out the colors I used to create this paint color. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in my entire envelope with clean water. Alright, so I'm going to start with the bottom half, and then once this area is dry, we're going to work our way up. Alright, so now I'm going to go into that brown paint. So this is just a light brown, and I can add some more pigment later to get my shadowing darker tone. So I'm just going to fill up this entire bottom area nice and even. I'm not going to worry about having any highlights or shadows at this right now. We are going to add that in just a second, but we're just getting that base color down first. All right, and now I'm going to add a little bit more paint to my brown mixture. And I am just going to kind of go in along my edges, and I'm going to tap that color in. So I want it to be darker in the corners, leaving that center area to be the lightest in every section. Just going to blend it into the middle a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh. But again, just making sure I leave that lighter brown space. I'm just going to add a little bit darker paint. Again, I'm just adding a little bit more of that paint to that brown mixture just to get it a little bit darker. I'm just going to tap that in again along those darker edges that I wanted to be a little bit darker, just around where the corners meet, where they'd be kind of like tucking behind or just have that natural shadow. All right, just like that. All right, we're going to let this completely dry, and then we're going to come back and we're going to work on the top part of our envelope. So now that our base of our envelope has dried, we can go into the top section. And with this section, I'm just going to go straight in with the paint. I'm not going to pre-wet the area because I'm going to be working around all of my heart outlines. You could, if you wanted to, put masking fluid over all your hearts. That would just be an extra step. But I chose not to do it that way just because I know a lot of people don't have masking fluid. And I just wanted to show you this way, but it would be in a way easier to paint this section with the masking fluid. It would just be quicker, I guess, because you wouldn't have to be as detailed going around each heart like I'm doing right now. And depending on the color that you're going to choose for your hearts, you could go right over each heart with the brown paint if the color you want to use for your hearts is going to be darker, have a lot more pigment to it than the color that you use for your envelope. Having a really good point on your brush is going to be great for this step because it's going to help you be able to really work around those small little heart outlines. Right, and then I'm just going to go back in around certain areas and just try to drop in some little shadowing marks. A lot of my paint has already dried, so I might just end up needing to smooth everything out in the end, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm just going to go back in and I'm going to smooth everything out coming upward. All right, and now we're going to let this completely dry, and then we are going to come back in and paint in our hearts. All right, so I've mixed up two colors. I've got a very thick wash of Alzerian Crimson, and then I have a thick wash of violet with a little bit of Alzerian Crimson added in. And I'm just going to use these two colors to paint in each of my hearts. And both of these colors are very vibrant and very opaque, so they should be very bold. So I'm just going around randomly adding in this color. I didn't really think too much about where I wanted the red hearts and the purple hearts. I'm just going to kind of play around with it. I really don't think there's going to be a right or wrong at the end of this painting. going to switch over to the purple paint mixture that I have. Get a little bit darker purple, and I'm going to add that to my mixture. Just felt like I needed one more color. Alright, then I'm just going to splatter some of this purple on either side. And we are going to let this completely dry, and then we are going to add some ink to finish off this card. So now I'm going to use my waterproof ink pen, and I am just going to add some black lines around my envelope and around my hearts, and then we are going to be writing down our message at the bottom of our card. So with this step, I'm not going to be too focused on making every shape perfect with my ink. I kind of want it to be a little bit messy, and for it not to completely just not be perfect with my outlines. I kind of want some of the brown to show through, or for it not to be basically just not a perfect outline of every shape. I want each shape to feel very loose and just kind of falling into place, if that makes sense. So even if your paint didn't come out perfectly, you can kind of make up for it with this step. And then we're going to do the same thing with our envelope. So again, just don't be too particular. Right, just like that. Now I'm going to use my pencil to sketch out my message underneath, and then I'm going to go back in with my black ink pen and trace over it. Just because I find with this step, I usually make a mistake on the lettering, and I like to have the ability to erase and kind of finish that off without being tied down to the first time I do it. And I'm going to try to write very lightly, just so I have that, I won't have any pencil marks if I need to erase. So we have sending you my love. And then I'm just going to go over it with my black ink pen. And again, I like to use my waterproof ink pen just in case I want to go back over something on my painting and I don't need to worry about if I'm going to disturb my ink and make it bleed. All right, and there you have an easy watercolor Valentine's Day card. Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like any extra details on this painting, head over to my blog, Reflecting Creation. I'll have a link in the description box below. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.